Alright, hey guys, Simon here, and welcome back to our Minecraft design school. So it's been a few days since the stairs episode, and I've had two responses, so let's have a look. The first one is from PetRock. What's his full name again? PetRock508, there we go. So he's given me this file, and why... really? Why okay, so there's squids. And I guess we'll start here. So yeah, so he's given me a little bit of a description, not much though. He says it's just a simple one which I'm moderately happy with. I found I always either over or underestimated vertical spaces, and there are a few points, mostly towards the latter half of the path, because it's more of a path than a staircase, where I obviously didn't know what I was doing. Haha. Okay, well we'll have a look at it. And you know, I mean, that this homework is not really, you know, it's not supposed to be a chore, it's not really supposed to be a test or anything, it's more practice. I mean, I say build one staircase, you can build as many as you want, and the idea is, you know, the more staircases you build, the better you become at it. Like, you become better at estimating the spaces, and visualizing the path, and building it, because, you know, it's just practice, basically. Why are there all sorts of trees and cows on trees and things? Anyway, so let's start from here. Let's just walk up this thing and see how we go. So that goes there as well. That's interesting. There's a ravine there. So this goes up the side. He's chosen a difficult place to put this thing. I mean, it's a vertical cliff. And then... okay. So this is a bit awkward, but okay. And then up here... and then glass archways. What's around here? Oh, hi. What's up? So that goes up to here and bridge over like this. I think that was like that. I think the map's supposed to generate. Or I'm guessing the map generated that. And so he built the path on top of this. And then across. A bit of a seating. And then down and across. Wait, I mean, he's technically reached the top of the mountain. Where is he going with this? I think I can... okay, we'll see where he goes with this. Okay, so he's going back down again. I'm gonna have to take a closer look at it when I'm done here. So was this cave natural? Probably half natural. It probably excavated a little bit. And then around here... is he going into the ravine as well? No, we're going around here and across here. Well, I mean, he certainly decided to... which way am I... okay, the end. So this is the end of the staircase. So he certainly decided to challenge himself a little bit and then take the long way around. What's on this side? I think this is the cave. Yeah, okay, so... and it's not really all that consistent. You can see it's kind of narrow in some places, wider in other places. Interesting though. Yeah, so here, like when the space is available, it's a bit wider. Let me just see this. Okay, so from the outside, so he's kind of built up like that, and he's chosen... it's interesting, like he's chosen to put the staircase on these vertical bits where he has to build a lot, instead of, you know, following the contours of the mountain, which is what I did with mine, although, you know, that's a choice. It's not like it's good it's not a good thing or a bad thing, it's more just a choice. Although it made it easier for me because I knew I was choosing a path that, you know, that fit the mountain. Like here, the mountain is vaguely 45 degrees, you see that? And so then putting the staircase there is kind of easy because the mountain is already that shape. Whereas, you know, when it's a cliff, then you have to build something along the side of the cliff, which is not as easy. So there, you know, though that part's kind of... did he excavate this or not? Can't really tell, to be honest. And then here he's chosen to... alright, so that's a bit awkward there. There's a lot of wood there. Don't really need to fill in the whole thing. I mean, you can just have it overhang a little bit like there. He's overhanging a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking as he was building it, and I'm hoping just doing this has given him a bit to think about when he builds stairs. Because you can choose to do this, or you can choose to leave it overhanging like that. You can have a bit of a support underneath as well. And then here, this is that's a bit odd, the terrain there. But he's decided to build the path over it. Like here, I think what he's doing is he's following the... Like there, he's following the contours of the dirt. The dirt like probably was that shape. But I mean, if it were me, I would line them up, right? I wouldn't have it staggered like that, because it looks a bit strange for the path to be staggered like that. Again, these are the little choices and the little decisions that you have to make as you build. Let's see, glass arch. That guy is going places. Let's see how he does this part. Okay, so this is a huge cliff. And again, because it's a cliff, he has to build this massive structure because, yeah, basically it's just a vertical thing, a vertical bit of dirt and rock. And he's chosen to put the path on that side. I mean, I guess it's one of those things where when you look at it from the side, you say, well, I guess I can build a staircase up there. But once you start building the staircase, you see how big the staircase is compared to the mountain. Like the scale of that. Just look at that for a moment. How big the stairs are compared to how big that block of dirt is. And if you try to imagine it without the staircase, I'm just using my hand to block out the staircase there. I mean, if you look at that, the shape of it is like, oh, it's a mountain. But then when you put a staircase on it, oh, it's not actually very big, is it? Because the stairs are that big. So this thing is only like a little bit of rock. It's not an actual mountain. So the Minecraft scale is a little bit odd because the mountains, the so-called mountains in Minecraft, they're not very big, to be honest. And the clouds are kind of low as well. So the scale, like once you put once you put a staircase against a mountain like this, then the strangeness of the scale becomes apparent. Okay, so I don't think there's too much more to say. Again, the exercise is more for you, and I guess for PetRock to practice building a staircase, more than it being a test or being actual homework. Again, you learn by doing. You can watch me build all day, but until you actually do it yourself, and I'm sure most of you do, because I don't think you all play Minecraft, right? But until you try things out for yourself, then you don't really know. Or you can't be sure that you know, or you can't be sure that you understand what you're looking at until you've built it for yourself. And that's one of the reasons why sometimes I say, copy someone else's build, or go find some pictures on the internet and try to copy it in Minecraft. I mean, it's not copying just for the sake of copying. You're copying to learn. Like, because when you try to do what you've seen someone else do, you learn you might learn other things, because the guy who's done it, he might not be explaining everything to you, or some of the things he's done might not be obvious until you try it yourself. And so the copying is not, it's not like, oh, I've got no imagination, I'm just copying someone else, I have no originality. No, it's not like that. It's like, you see someone else doing something and you try it to learn what it is. I mean, you see someone else riding a bike. I mean, if you don't know how to ride a bike, you can copy him, but you have to figure out how to ride the bike. Does that make sense? Like, you're not just copying because you're doing something. Like if someone bakes a cake and you copy his cake, it's not an easy thing. I mean, if you don't know how to bake cakes, it's gonna be really difficult. So, it's not like, oh, I'm copying him because I have no originality. It's, oh, I'm doing what I've seen someone else do because I want to learn how to do it. So, does that make sense? Like, I've had comments. People have said to me that, oh, I feel bad copying other people. No, don't think that way. You're not copying them. You're actually learning to do what they do. I mean, once you can bake the cake that someone else has baked, then you can use those skills to bake your own cakes, right? And so on and so forth. Anyway, let's look at the second one. The second one is sent in by Martin. Let me just what does he call it? He calls it own stairs, man. So he's said quite a bit more. Ooh, this is nice. It's got lights and everything. Should I read the whole thing first? Let's read the whole thing first. So he says, my path is 3 wide, or 3 blocks wide, mainly to make symmetrical streetlights possible. Haha. Yes. Except it's a lot bigger now, because it's 3 blocks wide, right? The path is 3 blocks, and then the railings is 2 more blocks. So for the sake of symmetrical streetlights, you're having to make something a lot bigger, and that has implications, of course, because bigger things are more difficult when you're trying to, fit an interesting shape onto a mountain. The bigger it is, sometimes it's more difficult. Anyway, let's see how he does. He says, I came up with a combination of birch planks for the path, stone bricks as foundations for the railings, and stone walls as railing. I love the color combination of bright planks and cobble, and cows and pigs love walls as much as fences. Yes, they do. First problem I faced was the question if I should connect the walls of different heights with each other. If I connect them, what I did at the beginning of the path, the railing is safer but looks quite clumsy. Let me just... Minecraft. So he says if we do this, it's a bit clumsy. It is, although it looks better with the... Well, I guess not. It seems to look better with the stone fences than with the wood fences. I'm not sure. If I don't connect them, you can walk off, and at the longer stair parts it looks a bit too little, since there's sometimes only one single wall element connecting to the next level's foundation. What do you prefer? I think I prefer what you've done here. I don't think it looks too clumsy. I mean, the problem with Minecraft is that there's no diagonals, right? So when you have a diagonal-ish shape, it's quite clumsy, as you say, because you have this thing, this sawtooth thing going on. I think I prefer this, but there's no good answer, to be honest. I mean, you might sometimes you might just change it up depending on how it looks. You don't have to stick to one particular way of doing things for the whole path. I mean, if it looks better in some places and looks this way, and it looks better in other places the other way, you can kind of switch it up. I think most people won't care that much. I don't know. I also wanted to include diagonal stairs and came up with 3 different forms. Should I walk up this thing? Yeah, let's walk up this thing, because he's gonna... Ooh, there's a hotel, nice. Because he's gonna explain some things. So the first diagonal bits, he says... Wait a minute, is this the first diagonal bits? He says... I use slabs... Nope, slabs, he says. Okay, let's keep walking up until we get to... there we go, there's the slabs. There we go. See, this is the problem with Minecraft. Doing diagonals. Because everything is square in Minecraft. I use slabs and reduce the width to 2 blocks. From my point of view, it doesn't feel narrower while walking on it. No, that's about right. Although, if you do the math, it's like the 3, this is that, and then the square root of 2 is... Wait, is that right? No, this is the square root of 4. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, it fits better if it's 2 and 3, so... Like, the math works out better if you have a path like that, there, and then when you go diagonal, 3... So like that. The math actually works out better 2 and 3, and then obviously 4 and 6. Whereas here you have 3 and 4, I think. Anyway, you could do the math if you want, do some trigonometry and then work out, Pythagoras and all that. Am I thinking this right? 2, 3, 3 squared, square root of... I don't know what I'm talking about. But the numbers work out better if it's, 2 and 3. Anyway, so this looks alright, so there's that wide there. He says that doesn't look as narrow, but yeah, it's a little bit odd though. Like if you look at the railings, oops, my bad. Look at the railings from that edge there to that edge there. it's about the same width. But then you can see how the stone bricks take up a lot more space as well, so then if we look at the wood, which is there to there, it looks narrower than that wood and that wood. So again, it's diagonals in Minecraft, you can't really do much about it. Next diagonal needed to be built with stair blocks, because, okay, we're not there yet. Yeah. Okay, let's get to the next one. I'm not sure about this slightly diagonal thing. It looks interesting though. Oh, I think this is the part he's talking about. Needed to be built with stair blocks because it's steeper. I had to increase the width to 4 to make it wide enough. Yeah, it's interesting because right before this 2 blocks was sufficient. Yeah, but the arrangement. No, it's 4 blocks. It's 4 blocks from there to there. Or, from there to there. But before, you say it's 2 blocks. It's 2 blocks diagonally, right? But it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? You see that? 1, 2, 3, and 4. That way. And also, 1, 2, 3, and 4 that way. So it's not actually 2 across. Not really. Does that make sense? It's more like, 4 and 4. Hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, technically it's 3 and 4 that you're working with, not 3 and 2. Although the way you've arranged it is a little bit, if it seems like it's 2, not really. Near the end, okay, maybe we should. Okay, let's keep walking, and then when we get to the end, we'll read the next part. Low ceiling. Why would you? You don't have to leave it. I know I say, follow the contours of the mountain, but you can change it up a little bit. The low ceiling is a little bit odd. Ooh, interesting mountains you've got. Alright, let's keep walking. And have you noticed how, as we're walking on the path, it feels quite natural? And even with PetRock's and here, like, as you walk along a path, nothing, like, it doesn't feel anything special. But when you kind of fly off the path and look at how it's built, you realize how much work has gone into it. Have you noticed that? I've noticed that. Maybe you don't. But like, as you walk on a path, it just feels like, oh, it's just the path. Alright, so this is the end. Beach is that way, a hotel. Nice dirt house. Alright. So near the end, I did a combination of 2 block wide and 3 block wide slabs. From the bottom, it looks quite like a complete mess of blocks, but walking on it is quite smooth. I think all 3 variants are valid and can be used according to the given environment. Yeah. I completely missed it, to be honest. Let me just go back and check. So diagonals, like he's counting 2 as the diagonal, but really it's, that's 4, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, it depends how you want to count it. So here we have, yeah, so he's got 3 and 2, like that. There's 2 and 3, and then 3 and 2. That's what he's talking about. I think I prefer this, although to be honest, I might actually... Yeah, I mean, diagonal stairs are just difficult. Usually when I build diagonal stairs, I make them even less steep than this. So maybe I should... when I build diagonal stairs, if I can just do it here, I would just go, even less steep. Which is a complete waste of space, to be honest. But then, stairs often are a complete waste, well, not a waste of space, but they use up a lot of space, often. So usually I make it like that. But you can see how much space that's going to take up, so anyway. That's not important. Alright, let's just keep walking back. Alright, let's have a look at the outside. So he's built a little bit of foundation around here. So, in contrast to PetRock, he's actually made more of an effort to stick to the contours of the mountain, although You can see there that he's kind of built himself into the wall, and then he had to do this to go up. I mean, I don't know, I think I would have gone this way and then around, because, you know, this here is not as steep, right? But then you have to walk further if you do that. There, he's chosen to go up and around, and then he's got a foundation there. Again, you know, it's these kind of little decisions. That's the point of this exercise, is for you to practice looking at the landscape and then visualizing the path and then building it and then making these little decisions. You can see that's, yeah, like he's made the 3 wide path, but technically it's 5 wide because it's got the railings. So, you know, it's more difficult to fit it onto the mountain because the mountains are completely, you know, the shapes they're not gonna, you know, you have to fit your stairs to the mountain. And it's not always gonna fit naturally without you building foundation. So that's pretty good there. Or, I mean, by good, I mean, you know, he's managed to stick to the shape of the mountain there. But I don't know, look. Let's just, yep. So that's pretty interesting. Actually, let's step back and look at the mountain too. Yeah, he's chosen, like he's chosen that path quite deliberately. I mean, there are a lot of more difficult paths, and he's chosen to go through there. Okay. I'm not sure. I mean, I personally would not have done, you know, this diagonal bit and stairs, like diagonal bits using these blocks. It looks really awkward, and if we go back to PetRock's staircase, at the beginning he's got a bit of this as well, except he's got, you know, going both ways. It's really awkward, and not something you'd see very often in the real world. Although this, you do see this sometimes. Not very much though. Usually in older staircases before there were safety codes. Because these days if you build a staircase you have to make sure that it complies with the various laws governing the safety of staircases. And something like what PetRock did back here, I think. Was it here? No, that's all good. That's all good there. That's all good there. That this does not comply with the relevant building codes because it's just too awkward. But yeah, I mean, this is what you want to practice, right? And then, again, this is the point of the exercise, is to wait a minute. There's no fences here. Did he forget or did he leave them? Did I break them? I didn't break them, right? Maybe you couldn't figure out how to do it properly because it's diagonal and that doesn't really work. I don't know. Yeah, so I mean the point is to put yourself into the situation where you have to fit a staircase along there and then you have to try to figure it out. And the idea is the more you build and the more different things you try, eventually you'll figure out your favorite way of doing it, one that looks good for you and works well for you, and things like that. I don't know. I think, you know, since people have difficulties with staircases, so I just thought it might be useful to practice this. Actually, I'm not done with Martin's message, was I? One optical problem is only visible if you're not on the path. The foundation for the railing seems to be too big, especially when hanging on a diagonal bit. Wait a minute, where? Hanging on a diagonal bit, foundation seems too big. I think he means like that. Not sure though. That or that? Probably that. I didn't want to build a big stonework like you did on your example stairs. Yes, I did use, you know, I did end up having a big stonework, or, you know, a big timber plinth in one part of mine, which was probably not the best thing to have done. So I tried different forms of pillars. You can see them directly at the beginning, after the mountain tunnel, and at the end. So he's tried to use columns because he doesn't want a big giant thing holding up the staircase. He says he's tried something at the beginning there, or I guess he means that. I see. So there's that, It's a little bit strange. And then we saw that bit before, and then at the end, there, I see. So he doesn't want that to be solid. Fair enough. I think the pillars themselves are fine, but the combination railing foundation pillar is quite big for a small thing like that path. And the only real solution I see is to move the path and stairway more into the mountain, so we don't see the foundation as much. What do you think? Again, it's one of these things where you have to decide what you like. I mean, as I said earlier, that if it was me, I would have put this bit, there, which is less steep than that bit. Then you don't have to deal with the big foundations and all that. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with foundations. It's just that if you want, I mean, the thing is, if you, I mean, the thing here is the relationship between the stairs and the mountain, right? If your stairs follow the shape of the mountain, you're kind of respecting the mountain. You're saying, okay, the mountain dictates what I do, or the mountain decides, or the mountain, governs what I build, and so then you stick to the shape of the mountain, and you don't build out. Whereas if you have these massive foundations, I mean, you can imagine you can just put a straight line or a series of straight lines with massive foundations. Then you have a mountain, and then you have this massive straight staircase on top of it. And then you're not respecting the mountain so much, you're more just kind of putting a straight line on top of it. So the relationship between the stairs and the mountains is not, it's something you might want to think about as well. And in some situations, maybe one is more appropriate than the other. I mean, this sort of thing this is not, it's not always the case that you want to stick with the mountain. It's not always the case that you can just put a straight line on it and it'll be okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is you have to decide depending on what you're building, and what you want it to look like in the end. And that's one of the things to consider. Do you want it to look like the staircase is respecting the mountain and then you are following the mountain? Or do you want it to look like you've built something here and it's more important than the landscape that it's sitting on? So yeah, it's up to you. He says, by the way, the tunnel through the mountain was there in the beginning. I didn't remove one stone block. It doesn't count as cheating. It's not cheating. Like there's no real rules here. The point is to just practice building staircases. To be honest, I would have dug out a little bit. So there's 3 blocks headroom. But that's interesting though. You left it there. I hope others send their stairs too, so you can make a video. Yeah, not too many people sent in their staircases, but it's interesting to look at these. And I guess the main point is, you guys, if you think you have problems with stairs, or if in your old builds you find that you have problems with stairs, then just practice building stairs. I mean, this is one excuse to do that, and you can do it in other ways as well. Alright, I'll stop rambling, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that is. This is SCKChui's Minecraft Design School. You send me your questions and your save file or your server IP address, and I will give you architecture design advice and feedback. See the video description for more details. Seriously, you should read the description before you send me anything. Thank you.